At times of war, I support Sharia law over international law, especially at times of war. And this is why. According to international law, an official military can use lethal force if they're targeting a military objective, even if innocent civilians are killed in the crossfire. This is permitted according to international law. For me, that is too low of an ethical standard. It's too low of an ethical standard because in the Sharia, in the Islamic legal system, as I explain in this book, Inside the Soul of Islam, right? In the Islamic legal system, one innocent civilian is one too many. The Quran says, and I quote, "If anyone kills a person, unless in punishment for murder or for mass destruction in the land, then it is as if he kills all of mankind. While if anyone saves a life, it's as if they save all of mankind. Our messengers came to them with clear signs, but many of them continue to commit excess in the land." Excess in the land means breaking this law. Excess in the land means permitting destruction far beyond targeting only the military and only combatives. It means killing innocent civilians. So as a believing Muslim, one innocent civilian is one too many. One innocent civilian, you might as well have killed all of humanity. You know why? Because there's someone out there, maybe many people out there, who love that innocent person so much that for them, you might as well have destroyed all of humanity because you destroyed all of their world. So in Islam, we have really clear rules about this, and they're more stringent than international law. So when we condemn any terrorist attack or any even military attack, we condemn it because innocent civilians are killed, and that goes beyond the excesses of the law of Islam. Now, you might say, well, in that case, how do you fight back? How do you fight back against people who are outpowering you militarily? And the answer is you fight back only within the bounds of the law. Now, that might mean you lose a lot more soldiers than you would otherwise. Yeah, absolutely. It might well mean that it's going to be a lot harder to do the fight. It might well mean that you need to develop technology that can be used to very specifically target combatants, instead of just continuing to develop technology that kills as many people as possible, which is insanity. That's just crazy. If you want to stick to the Sharia, if you want to stick to Islamic law, then you've got to figure out, if you're fighting in a battle, you've got to figure out how to do it without killing any innocent civilians. And you've got to absolutely do tawbah and turn back to God and stop your ways if your method is to kill innocent civilians. Now, you might say that this is too high of a moral ideal, and it's closer, in fact, to pacifism in the modern day. This is closer to pacifism than it is to fighting like with like. And you're right, it is closer to pacifism. It's closer to Mahatma Gandhi's approach of non-violent resistance, right? Because if the only violence you're using is absolutely limited to only battling one-to-one or against a military target, then you are getting closer to pacifism than to mutually assured destruction, where millions of innocents are killed. Yes, that's true. But on the plus side, you maintain your spiritual connection with God as you're fighting the good fight. The good fight stops being the good fight when you start killing innocent civilians. So this is a very high moral standard that the Quran and Sunnah give us, and the only way we could possibly stick with it, the only way we could possibly stick with this extremely high moral standard is to take into account the afterlife. It doesn't matter if we die in the process of doing this jihad, of not killing any civilians, but only targeting the military. It doesn't matter if we die in the process, because when we die, we go to heaven, if you're fighting the good fight. But the minute you start killing civilians, now heaven is not guaranteed for you. Now you're committing a major, major sin in the middle of the so-called warfare. If you want to more deeply connect with Allah, raise your level of consciousness, become your best self, and ultimately bring more peace and love into your family, into your life, and into the whole world, then go check out the Switch Masterclass. Go to mamoonyusuf.com. And if you want more daily spiritual downloads, if you want the next one, click on the next video that comes up. Until then, may the peace, love, and blessings of Allah be with you always.